Hello, ladies of Master Class. It's week number 6. So this is halfway. Wow. I hope so far you've gained insight on momentum, which we focused on core engagement and posture. And we focused on angle, which is boat angle, which is, to me, one of the most foundational skills in whitewater kayaking. And this week I want to focus on the mind. So I want to set skills aside for a moment and focus on the mind and mindset, because it's really key. So whitewater kayaking, yes, the core engagement piece is important. The physical skills are so important. But at least half of whitewater kayaking is mindset. And what I want to talk about today, and I know you've heard me talk about it, especially if you're in my private Facebook group, is separating fact from story. To me, that is, well, there's two things that are key with mindset. One is being clear on who you want to become, getting clear on where you want to go. And that can be as simple as, mindset in kayaking can be as simple as knowing exactly where you want to go, like exactly where you want to enter that eddy, or exactly where you want to hit that boof. And once you know that and you're clear, you are going to experience more success, because then you look there and you keep your eyes there and you paddle there, right? It doesn't always work out exactly how you think it's going to work out. But for sure, I had a client the last couple of days, and one thing, she didn't understand why she couldn't get, certain places. And what we came to discover together through video review and observation is that when she peels out of an eddy, she's just looking around, like looking upstream, looking around. And as soon as you peel out of an eddy, you've got to be really clear on where your next move is. Especially if you're paddling at your limit, like you're paddling something that makes you nervous, something that requires skill level and where you don't want to be floating. So I'm not talking about where you're on a river that is not that hard for you and you're just cruising with your friends and it doesn't really matter. That's great. I mean, we all need those days, right? They're super fun. I'm talking about when you really need to get where you want to, where you need to go. Okay, so getting clear on where you want to go and looking there. So that's setting goals. That's true in life as well. Not just being like, I want to get somewhere over there. I want to lose weight. I want to make more money. These are very elusive goals. Like, they're great goals and I understand them, but they're not specific enough. You have to get really specific for your mindset to work. I want to cross the eddy line right at that point. I want to hit the edge of the rock right where the water is pouring off. Right? I want to hit the peak of that wave, or I want to hit the corner of that wave. Okay? I want to lose 5 pounds in 2 months. I want to make, $5,000 more by the end of 2020. Right? These are more specific goals. So you see where I'm getting at. Get clear. Then along the way, your mind is going to want to orient towards threats, because that's what our brains are designed to do. Our brains are designed to recognize threats and opportunities. But our brains are designed to focus more on the threats, because that is how, over evolution, it has kept us safe. And it's important to know that so that we can retrain our brain, so to speak. I mean, we can't completely retrain it, but we do have neuroplasticity in the brain where we can create new grooves, okay? And one of the ways to do that is to separate fact from story. So along our journey towards our goal, that we're clear on, we might start, because of the past and and coping mechanisms we developed as children, we have stories that we live out of. No one likes me. I'm not worthy. I'm not doing the right thing. I'm not athletic. I'm too much to handle. I'm too loud. Whatever. You get what I'm talking about. And those stories, most of us live out of stories that we tell ourselves about what's happening, and not the facts of what's actually happening in the present moment. When we get present to what's actually happening, the facts in the moment. So an example, we can free ourselves from the stories, and we can take action based on what the present moment is asking of us. Okay. An example, if you take a swim, okay, so the facts are, you flip upside down or you get stuck in a hole, you pull your skirt, you swim out of your kayak, you get to shore, you might get help from friends. Okay, that's what happened. The stories that we tell ourselves, or you might tell yourself, I might tell myself about what happened is, I shouldn't have swam there. Man, I suck as a kayaker. Man, I held the whole group back. They all had to help me. Now they think I'm a sucky kayaker. No one's going to want to paddle with me again. Right? Then the spiral of self-doubt starts. Right? And that, if that's going through your head, how can you expect to get back in your kayak and then paddle confidently the rest of the way, especially if it's a challenging river? So the first step is recognizing that it's a story. And, you know, one of the ways to do that is ask, what actually just happened? Like when you hear the story, I suck, or, you know, and those are red flags. Anytime you're telling yourself that you suck, or that you're a crappy kayaker, or this shouldn't have happened, or I'm holding everyone back. Like, red flag, pause. Okay, well, what actually just happened? Okay, I flipped, I couldn't roll, or I got stuck in a hole, or whatever happened. I could not roll, so I pulled my skirt, which is a valid self-rescue, right? And my friends helped me get to shore. I got to shore. Okay, that's what happened. Everything else is story. So then you can have a conversation with yourself. Okay, that's in the past. That's what happened. Now I have a choice to move forward and to keep my eye on my goal. What does the present moment require of me? Well, it requires that I get back in my boat and I sit up tall and I use my posture and my core engagement and my vision and my angle, right? And I continue on because I still need to get down the river. Or, and this is just as valid, it might require, like, wow, I'm really exhausted from this swim. That was a lot. Right now, what I'm feeling is that I really need to walk out, right? Because it's, you know, however that happens. And that's the right decision for me. Okay, right? And then the important piece is to stick with the facts, right? This is what the present moment is asking of me. And this idea that worrying about what other people think is so much suffering, right? If you find yourself doing that, just ask them. If you feel the need, you can, and you know, I've said this, like, acknowledge them. Thank you so much for helping me. And you'll notice that if you apologize, if you're with a good crew, they'll all say, like, why are you apologizing? We're all in between swims. Because that's fact. We're all in between swims, right? This story that we tell ourselves about somehow good kayakers never swim, or like we're the only ones that swim, or we're the only ones who get nervous. That's all story. Okay. So I know this has been a long video, so thanks for hanging in there with me, but it's so important. Okay. So one, get clear and specific about your goal and about your vision. Be very diligent about keeping your eyes on your goal, and then separate fact from story. Start by recognizing when you're telling yourself a story about something that happened, right? So that's my mindset talk for you today, this week. That's what I want you to, so your homework is, get specific about your goals. I want you to write them down, journal about them, share them with us in the Messenger if that feels good to you. And then I want you to start recognizing, is this fact or is this story? Is this fact or is this story? I'm suffering a lot here. Red flag is if you're suffering a lot because of something that happened, you're telling yourself a story about it. Okay? So, I'm intense about this stuff because I really believe it makes a difference. And I believe that we empower ourselves so we have more power than we think we do. The story is that we don't have power or control over our response, right? And we have to train ourselves, just like we train ourselves in skills. It's important that we train ourselves in mindset. It takes practice. So I'm also going to share with you a guided meditation, because part of it is being able to sit and be with ourselves, sit quietly. It's a guided meditation, which is helpful for, if you're not used to sitting quietly, so that you can focus on something. But hopefully that will help. Okay, week 6, mindset. Thanks for listening. I know this is a long video. I appreciate it. And let's stay in touch in Messenger.